Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were definitely uninvited from the Met Gala.
It's got nothing to do with their legal war against Justin Baldoni.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't skip the Met Gala. They were banned. And no, it wasn't about a scheduling conflict or spending more time with the kids. It was Anna Wintour's personal power play. And now, the industry is turning cold.
Their reputations are ruined.
What started as quiet rumors has exploded into a full-blown Hollywood crisis. Leaked emails, lawsuits, brand deals drying up. Even their closest friends, people like Taylor Swift and Gigi Hadid, have gone silent. Blake challenged the wrong queen, and now she's learning what happens when you cross fashion royalty. This wasn't just a missed red carpet moment. It was a message. And behind that message is a mountain of scandals, lies, and power grabs the public was never supposed to see.
Who is going to want to work with them, especially as more and more comes out, especially as discovery comes out and depositions? To me, their careers are over.
We're talking secret edits of major films, budget blowouts, allegations of control, manipulation, and intimidation behind closed doors. And at the center of it all, a couple that once ran Hollywood, now watching the gates slam shut. This isn't speculation. This is a calculated fall from grace, unfolding in real time. And we have the receipts.
We're very used to seeing like a Blake, right? She's very unkind to reporters, and genuinely I think that there's just a lack of a better word there. She seems to hate the press junkets over the years. She barely seems to enjoy her fans. She kind of thinks that she's above her fans, thinks she's above the press, and is just always rude.
So what exactly got Blake Lively banned from the Met Gala? One email. That's all it took. An internal message Blake reportedly sent, accusing Anna Wintour of playing favorites with Justin Baldoni during the chaotic production of It Ends With Us. And that accusation? It didn't just rub Anna the wrong way. It obliterated the unspoken rule of fashion royalty. You never question Wintour's authority. Ever.
But please do not come. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ms. Wintour, I would ask that you not extend the invitation, but I think you probably know better.
Insiders say Blake accused Anna of showing clear bias toward Baldoni, allegedly implying that certain fashion favors were being granted to him unfairly. But here's the catch. That email wasn't just angry venting. It leaked. And when it hit the wrong inboxes, Blake's fate was sealed. You don't survive calling out the most powerful woman in fashion. Not in writing, not behind closed doors, and definitely not while you're in the middle of a legal war that's already making headlines.
We left because the vibes were not vibing. Like wasted hair, makeup, outfit to go to the city, drink a margarita in a mason jar, take a bucket of popcorn, take 2 bites, see Anna Wintour, see Justin Baldoni, and left to go back to Connecticut. Like talk about blue balls.
And Ryan? He went down with her. By association, the golden couple was now radioactive. The Met Gala blacklist was just the beginning. What followed was a tidal wave of distance from every major studio, brand, and connection they once relied on. This wasn't fashion politics. This was a career takedown. But if you thought the email was the worst part, you haven't heard what was happening inside the Sony editing bay.
Even her best friends have not come to her defense. No one in Hollywood, all the people all the people that they've been around, no one has come to their defense.
You thought the Met Gala drama was bad? That was just the appetizer. The real mess started where no paparazzi cameras could reach, inside the editing bay at Sony Pictures. While the world thought Blake Lively was lying low and taking a break, she was actually deep in a behind-the-scenes power grab, hijacking the final cut of It Ends With Us, a film she was supposed to star in, not direct. Legal filings now confirm she didn't just give feedback, she allegedly took over. Entire scenes were cut, dialogue was rewritten, and the film's original tone completely flipped to match her personal brand.
Especially Gigi Hadid and Taylor Swift. We know Taylor Swift wants nothing to do with her anymore.
And she didn't stop there. Blake reportedly demanded full control over wardrobe, not for creative reasons, but to make sure her character looked expensive. The problem? Her character was supposed to be working class, struggling to make ends meet. Instead, she showed up in custom designer pieces that had nothing to do with the story and everything to do with maintaining her red carpet image. The budget for wardrobe, originally capped at $185,000. By the time Blake was done, over $615,000 burned, and the rest of the cast still hadn't been dressed. And just when the team tried to reel her in, she dropped the biggest bombshell of all.
Too long to stand there in stilettos. And so I see one of Blake's team members, and they're a little distant and a little like icy to me. Just there's something that I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
Multiple insiders claim that Blake strong-armed Sony executives, threatening to raise allegations of sexual harassment if she wasn't given full editorial control over the movie. No complaint was ever filed. No HR process ever triggered. But the threat was enough. Sony caved, because when you're a studio and a major star drops even a whisper of an allegation, even unfounded, you move fast. The result? Blake locked herself in the editing bay, refused a hand over the final cut, and missed contractual deadlines. Instead of turning the film in by May 8th, she held it hostage until May 10th, after the Met Gala had passed.
You know, in other circumstances, this person is not this way, and it was slightly off-putting to Danielle and I. We both like noted it. And then it was one of these theaters that has all these like escalators in it. Okay, so we're like, what do we do? So we go to get margaritas. And that night, like I had a malfunction, my strap came off, and we went to drink margaritas. I think it was raining, and we were like walking outside in the rain, and it was just like a mess.
And here's the kicker. Her team still tried to spin her absence as a voluntary choice. But leaked production schedules showed she was sitting in Culver City, fighting over edits, while the biggest night in fashion unfolded in New York without her. This wasn't about skipping a red carpet. This was about control, power, and ego. But the blowback wasn't just professional. As the legal drama exploded, so did something else. Blake's carefully protected public image. You know the girl next door? Relatable bestie vibe. She's always sold? Gone.
And we come back to see the movie. I'm excited to see the movie. And because I love Blake Lively, I'm so excited. So we walk upstairs and we see Anna Wintour. She passes us and I'm like, oh my God, wow, we'll do that another time, but like, let's park that.
Former interns, stylists, publicists, even press junket staff all started speaking out. Not with lawsuits, with receipts. Blake was reportedly rude, dismissive, and entitled, even at events where she was the guest of honor. Fans shared awkward meet and greet stories. Journalists told tales of being stonewalled by her PR team. And one comment kept popping up. She thinks she's above everyone. But the moment that really shattered it all? Her wedding. Years ago, Blake and Ryan tied the knot on a plantation. And for a while, the media let it slide. But in today's culture of accountability, that silence doesn't fly anymore. Not only did they choose a venue with deep ties to slavery, but they also never issued a real apology. Just a vague PR statement buried in an old interview. Now that the public's digging deeper, that choice and their silence has come back to haunt them. And guess what? Their friends aren't defending them either.
Keep walking, and this guy says to me, oh, hey, Bethany, you know Justin. He was on your podcast. And he's in this one like line, and we say hello to each other. I didn't remember who he was. I don't know why. But we say hello to each other. He was very nice. I think he was wearing purple. And he's in this one theater. And then we think this, we saw him, so we're just going into the theater. Not usually, always, unless it's a weird different screenings. The premiere is in one giant theater, and there might be like an overflow theater, okay?
This wasn't just a fashion world fallout. Hollywood took notes too. And the reaction? Complete radio silence. Studios that once couldn't wait to attach their names to Blake and Ryan are now pulling out, quietly but fast. Brand deals? Drying up. Red carpet invites? Vanishing. And their once glowing reputation, unsalvageable. Even their A-list inner circle, the Taylor Swifts, the Gigi Hadids, the power publicists, and award season insiders, have all gone ghost. Remember when Taylor and Blake were practically glued at the hip? Family outings, Instagram love, birthday posts? Yeah, that's over. No comments, no reposts, no subtle support, just cold distance.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were definitely uninvited from the Met Gala.
And in this business, when people stop talking about you, they're actually saying everything. No one wants to be caught in the blast zone. Not when the PR disaster is this radioactive. And it makes sense. Hollywood doesn't care about who's right. They care about who's clean. And Blake and Ryan? Right now, they're anything but. But even after all that, they still thought they could bounce back. Their plan? A fun surprise appearance at SNL's 50th anniversary special. A cute little comeback to remind the world of their charm. Relatable, witty, just like old times. Only it backfired. Badly. Audiences were confused. Viewers online called them tone-deaf, delusional, and completely out of touch. Even people in a live audience described the vibe as awkward and weirdly cold. No jokes about the lawsuits. No acknowledgement of the controversy. Just forced smiles and fake laughs, like nothing had happened. And that's what made people mad. This wasn't a redemption arc. This was a PR stunt that blew up in their faces. Even fans who used to root for them were like, read the room. Instead of flipping the narrative, the SNL appearance confirmed what many already suspected. Blake and Ryan were too proud to admit they'd fallen and too out of touch to know how bad it really looked. And while they posed for cameras like everything was fine, the real damage was already spreading.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will be a no-show at Met Gala. Popular couple, often a fixture at the event.
By now, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Blacklisted by the Met Gala, called out for behind-the-scenes chaos on set, accused of manipulating public narratives, ignored by their celebrity friends, failing to connect with the fans who once adored them. Even their most loyal supporters are starting to tap out. And the deeper the internet digs, the worse it gets. Old interviews, passive-aggressive press moments, strange contradictions between their public image and their real actions. Everything is being re-examined under a microscope. This is what happens when a brand, because make no mistake, Blake and Ryan are a brand, starts to unravel. One thread gets pulled, and the whole thing comes apart. And with the fashion world, film studios, and the public all watching it happen in real time, the question isn't what's next. It's, is there even a way back? Hollywood has a short memory, but only when it wants to forget. Blake and Ryan's story isn't just about one mistake. It's about a series of power moves, missteps, and silence that snowballed into one of the most public image collapses we've seen in years. They could go dark, hide out, wait for the heat to die down. In a few years, maybe attach themselves to indie projects and try to rebuild. That's how some stars do it. But even that path is shaky, because this isn't just about one project. This is about trust. And the people who used to cheer for them now question everything they thought they knew. So now the clock is ticking. Do they launch an apology tour? Stay quiet? Pretend nothing happened? Or try to pull the ultimate comeback? You tell me, is this the end of Hollywood's golden couple? Or just the beginning of their fall from grace? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more explosive deep dives just like this, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stick around. Because we've got more stories, more scandals, and more truth coming very soon.